Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning, everyone. It's Andy Brownell. It's Saturday morning and time to chat with Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Hey, Robin, how are you doing today?
I am doing dandy. It's feeling and looking like spring, and I'm kind of loving it.
Betcha it is. Last Wednesday was so beautiful. It was windy, but it was still so nice.
Yeah, in the 60s. It was amazing.
Well, it sounds like this weekend we're going to see more of that. So
yes, today. Or tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, I think today's supposed to be nice too, but tomorrow even better.
Yeah, awesome.
Keep our fingers. Okay, so I've got to ask you, because it's all over social media, and I've just seen, to be honest with you, I haven't read any of it. I've just seen the headlines. Let's put it that way. What is going on
Let me guess. With 2630 Wild Rose Lane.
Yes.
Yeah, it's wild, all right. I will tell you, there are details I can share and details that I cannot, just to protect the privacy of the sellers, of course. But I can at least give you enough information to give you a better idea, or at least those who are out there wondering a better idea of what's going on, because that has been... Well, first of all, let's just start by talking to the viewers about what 2630 Wild Rose Lane is, because as soon as I explain it, everybody's going to say, I know that place.
Right.
So if you're at Bamber Valley School and you look up on the hill, on Hawk Hill, there's a huge, looks like commercial building, green and concrete is all you can see, and it towers above all the homes, humongous, 15,000 square feet. And it is constructed with steel beams and concrete. I mean, built by a commercial builder and built like a commercial building because of the size of the structure. That was what was going to be necessary. Okay? So that's the building we're talking about. Now, the backstory is the owners were a very excited couple to buy that piece of property, and they had the vision for this house. So they contacted me. They told me they wanted to buy the house. It was a very nice 2-story up there. I don't remember, 700 and something or 800,000. And they were so excited and they wanted to buy it. And so I went to show it to them, and they said, we don't need to see it. And I'm like, what? And they said, we don't want the house, we want the land. So we just want to buy it and take this house down, and then we want this land. So they were, cool about it. They donated everything they could in the house to, like, those, what's the name of that store where you can bring things in? Restore, like cabinets and faucets and sinks and appliances, all those kind of things, right? So, I mean, they didn't just come in and bulldoze it down like people saying, what a shame, what a shame. Well, they wanted that lot and they had a vision. So they started their dream home, and of course they invested a lot of money. Okay, because buying the house, taking it down, and then they didn't want a shared well. They wanted a private well. They didn't like where the septic was because they were going to put a pool there, so they had the septic moved. They added a second septic. So they invested a lot of money, and then they had this big structure built. And I've seen the plans for the finished home, and let me tell you, all I can say is wow, wow, wow. I mean, it would have been amazing. Well, okay, so this all started back in 2017, was rolling right along. All those things take time, right? And, of course, only so much gets done in the wintertime, and we know how that is.
Yes, we do.
Well, when the marriage, unfortunately, broke up and they separated, the thing came to a halt, okay? Well, then, of course, with divorce, there's things that go on, and the judge says, hold everything until we decide. So everything had to just sit still for a while, okay? So then rumors started to fly, and rumors started to go around town that these folks ran out of money. I promise you that is not what happened. Rumors started to fly that the house didn't have any permits pulled, or it wasn't built to code, or it wasn't safe, it's going to fall down. None of that is true. None of it. Okay, so anyway, now it got to the point where everybody in the neighborhood is sick of looking at it. They don't like it. It's just sitting there unfinished. And to keep it safe, because of course they don't want to be sued because some kids go in there and fall into the basement, or running around, fall out the windows. It's very, very tall, right?
Yeah.
So they had to put a chain link fence all around their property to keep people out. So that isn't pretty to look at. So the neighbors got upset, started to complain, signed a petition, went to the township. The township, of course, is the governing body. They can't ignore that. So they have to get involved. So long story short, it's now the township versus the seller saying, we want this house gone. We want to take it down, and if you don't take it down, we're going to take it down. Well, that's not really very realistic. It's going to take a lot to take that house down. I mean, that would be dynamite and a lot of dump trucks to haul rubble. I mean, what a waste. They have invested from the beginning over $2 million into this property. And somebody could pick it up right now where it is. It's not going to be her, because now it's just her and her children, and she's not going to do that, okay? That was their dream home together. That dream is gone. So that's her own personal business, okay? But she wants to sell it to somebody else who wants to take advantage of what she has invested and finish the project. But I put that house on the market, and I kid you not, in the first day on the market, I received 55 phone calls.
Wow.
Some people saying, you do know there's no permits pulled. No, that's not true. You do know that, yes. You know they're being sued. You know that the judge has already made an order to take that house down. Nope, that's not true either. So, what I do know is that a lot of people have a lot of bad information. And unfortunately, people have made fun of the house. They've made stories about it and put it on Facebook. Recently,
yes,
there's just, I get that people are trying to appease what people want to hear or see, but I will tell you the truth. The truth is, if somebody were to buy that house and finish it, the neighbors would no longer think it's an eyesore. They would live they would live in the same neighborhood as the nicest home in Rochester, because the plans for that house were wow. And the views in that house, oh my goodness. So it says 0 bedrooms, 0 baths. It says that because it's unfinished. So no, it's not the most expensive studio apartment. It's not a studio apartment. Clearly, it's a future 6 bedrooms on 1 level home, if that's what someone would choose to do with it. And clearly, if they don't want to stick to the current floor plan, they could do whatever they want. So I'm hoping that with the help of lawyers, we can get this all worked out so that someone can buy this, finish it, and make it into this amazing house that it was intended to be.
Yeah, it sounds like a incredible opportunity for somebody.
Yeah. Yes, agreed.
Seeing as the circumstances involved. Oh, that's a sad story is what that is. Somebody's dream turned into a nightmare.
Well, yes, basically. And it would be, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, it would be just devastating to see that house torn down.
I agree.
I mean, I feel like yes, agreed. I would hate to look at it the way it looks now, too. I mean, nobody wants to look at it now, but that doesn't mean that somebody shouldn't be given the opportunity to go in and finish what was started and make it into the most gorgeous house. So, whatever. I'm not the judge. I don't get to decide, so time will tell.
Well, if somebody's listening to this and heard the real story behind it and they're interested, that we'll have to follow. I'll have to ask you about this down the road.
Yes, and I do have the house in a status right now, which is temporarily off the market. Temporarily, no showings are available.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that I wouldn't still field calls and wouldn't be able to sit down with somebody who is qualified and can prove to be qualified, so we could sit down with people at the township all at the same time.
Somebody serious.
And try to put something together.
That would be awesome.
I'm hoping.
Well, I'd love to see that thing finished, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, everybody would love it. Everybody who has negative feelings toward it, I think, would change 100%.
It would become a showpiece, is what it would be.
Yes,
it would be
absolutely.
one of those places where, have you seen this house? Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely. It's already been the most talked about house in town, but it would be talked about in a completely different way.
It'd be, remember years back when all anybody could talk about was the Savage home?
Oh my gosh! Yes. Oh my gosh! That I do remember that.
That's been quite a few years.
Yeah, all the Christmas decorations and the golf course. Oh yeah, yes, absolutely.
Oh, down Nostalgia Road. Okay, we have to take a quick break already, so we will return and chat some more with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Max results in just a moment on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Ye old butchers. With Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Max Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. It's Saturday morning. We're with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Max Results. I'm Andy Brownell. Robin, we are. It is spring, isn't it?
Yes. And I have.
No, not quite. No, we have one more day.
Yeah, one more day. I have. Besides that beautiful opportunity on Wild Rose Lane, I have some other new listings that I would like to talk about just because they are coming and going so quickly. So if you're okay with that, I'll do that quick.
I am, absolutely.
Okay, so I remember I talked last week about 1916 Shannon Oaks Boulevard, and that was the great big ranch for $719,900.
Yes.
And I said, come to my open house. Well, 30 people showed up at my open house, and we sold it as a result of the open house. So that
great.
was very quick. Yes. So we have some other new ones that are coming or just fresh on the market. One of them came on the market yesterday over in Zumbrota at 1045 South Main Street, Zumbrota. And that one was built in 1999. And it is a 2-car garage. It has, I think it's 2 beds. Yeah, 2 beds and 2 baths and a 2-car garage. And it's listed for $234,900. So I don't expect that one's going to last very long.
No.
We also have one that just came on the market yesterday at 1808 Northern Heights Lane. I know there were a ton of showings yesterday, and I know there are still some more today. That one is 1,390 square feet. It's a ranch-style house with another 900 in the basement, so 2,290 total. And it's a 3-bed, 2-bath with a 2-car garage. And that one is $299,900.
All right.
And I know, nice price range.
That's in that sweet spot, yeah.
Nice price range, yep. And then I have one that came on the market yesterday, and oh my gosh, it was like solid back-to-back showings. The sellers actually left and went to the cities overnight when they saw the number of showings that were coming. So that's 2796 Bandel Drive Northwest.
Yep.
And that one is $319,900. So another good price range.
Up on the hill there.
Uh-huh. And that's just a basic bi-level split, but lots of upgrades have been made, and it's got a huge fenced yard for somebody with a dog. That's a huge plus.
There you go.
We have one that is just today came on as coming soon, and I think the showings can start Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, that one is 2635 59th Street Northwest, and that's a 3-bed, 2-bath, multi-level with a 2-car garage, and that one's $309,900. So a lot of new listings that next week I'll tell you have all sold.
Yes, but quite a few of them are right in that range where
excited.
Things are hot.
I'm super excited because, that's 5 new happy homeowners. And, of course, I'm not the only agent in town with new listings. When I look overall, we have 147 active listings right now, 244 pending, and we've got 4 houses available under $100,000, 11 available between 100 and 200, 29 between 200 and 300. 21 between 300 and 400, 21 between 400 and 500, 14 between 500 and 600, 12 between 600 and 700, 15 between 700 and 800, 6 between 800 and 900, 6 between 900 and $1 million, and then grand total we have 8 over $1 million.
Wow. Those, compared to several years ago, the inventory number is low, but when you compare it to where it was a few months ago, it's much better.
Yeah, we have on average 0.9. So on average, we have a month's worth of inventory. Okay, so what that means is if not one more house came on the market, we would have enough houses to last us for a month to sell, and then we would be completely out of inventory. And I can break that down in the low ranges, well, actually all the way up to 400,000, we have a half a month's worth of supply. So if we didn't get any more, we'd be out in 2 weeks.
Goodness.
And then between 400 and 500, we have about a month and a half. Between 500 and 600, just a little bit over a month. Then it gets to be more time. When we get up to 600 to 700, we've got 2.5 months worth of inventory. 700 to 800, there's quite a few available there because we've got 5 months worth of inventory there. 15 of them. So it would take us 5 months to sell 15 in that price range. Between 900 and $1 million, those 6 houses, that's enough to last us for 9 months. And between $1.2 million and $1.3 million, we've got 2, and that's enough to last us for 10 months. So those don't sell, quite as fast and frequently as the lower priced ones. But yeah, really good position. I mean, nobody's waiting a terrible long time to sell their house. And average days on the market has been, let's see, for closed and sold, the average days on the market was 27. And the median days was 12. So, I mean, things are moving right along.
Yeah, there's a lot of, it's tight, but it's moving. So
yeah, it's liquid.
Yeah,
it's definitely liquid. On they come, off they go. On they come, off they go. On they come, off they go. It's fabulous. And
you've pointed out in the past too that if you're looking to get into this, you better be ready to act.
Yes.
Because if you come across that house that meets your needs and you're not prepared, it's going to be gone by the time you are prepared to make that offer.
Well, and what we are seeing already is, the rates have creeped up a bit and people are paying right around 4 instead of right around 3, or those lucky ones that paid, 2 point something. And, I don't want to sound like a broken record. We all know 4% is still an incredibly great rate. But it does make buyers more sensitive to the price increases because it affects directly that monthly payment.
Yep.
And what I've learned is that people aren't as focused in on the price they're paying for the house as much as they are focused in on the price they're going to pay each month, looking at their budget.
Is that new, or is that what you've always seen since you've been in the business?
It's definitely more. It's definitely people are the awareness has heightened. Let's say that, because I think people are like, "Whoa, that's a lot to pay for that house," and so then we have to say, "Okay, now let's look at realistically. Do you realistically think you're going to be here for 30 years and pay this house off, or do you think you're going to be like the other 95% of the people in the country that will be selling again 5 to 7 years?" Because if so, what the purchase price was is not important as long as we know that price is going to go up and not down, and as long as we know that your monthly payment is something that is going to be very easy for you to handle.
Sure.
So we've had to focus more on that. But now with the interest rates going up a little bit, people are like, these prices are crazy because it affects their monthly payment, right? So as I've said in the last few probably months or at least weeks, I believe we're going to see those increased prices leveling out because of that. I think that the mortgage rate's going to be kind of a counterweight.
Well, it's designed to be that.
Yes, of course.
Slow down the rise in prices.
Right.
Hopefully it'll slow down the rise in the other prices too.
But it doesn't mean that we still don't hear some crazy things. I found an article, Andy. I don't know if it's break time or not.
It is, so
okay.
We'll
all right.
tease it. You found a crazy thing article.
Yeah, crazy article. All right.
Okay, we'll talk about that when we come back after this quick break with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Max results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty...
Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Max results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Max results with... what was billed as a crazy story for us.
And it is crazy because I told you in the break. And okay, so I'll read the headline. This is from the National Association of Realtors webpage, okay? Buyer offers $50K for the other buyer to walk away.
What?
Yeah. So the deal was locked up and done, but this buyer wanted it so bad that he had this is in Dallas, Texas, he had his agent go to the agent of the other buyer and say, if they will walk away and let me buy this house, I will give them $50K cash, no questions asked.
I'd take it in a heartbeat.
Okay, you know what? I didn't even read along to see if they did. Now you got me curious.
Well, $50,000 and...
Guess what? They said they would give them $50K to go away so they could buy the house. Tremonte, that's the agent's name, told the local news channel the buyer turned down the offer.
Wow, what is the deal with the house?
I don't know. Maybe there's a gold mine under it. I don't know. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Turned down the offer. It says, and there is some complexity as to if someone can legally or ethically do that, but that's a real story, and it really happened.
Now you really have my curiosity piqued.
That's called really wanting it, right?
There must be something extraordinarily special about this house.
And you know, the
maybe
thing
not.
is, and the thing is it's just that some markets, our market is good, but not to the point where, I don't call that a good market. I don't think that's a fun market for anybody involved. Not for the realtors, not for the buyers, not for the sellers. It sounds like a nightmare. So I like that our inventory is selling quickly, and I like that sellers are getting top dollar, but I also like that buyers know that there is hope to find a house and they don't have to get to a point where they're so desperate that they're trying to pay somebody else $50,000 to walk away so they can get the house.
I wasn't aware that Dallas was that hot. That
it's probably a certain neighborhood in Dallas.
Sure.
The real estate market, it's an interesting
I would bet you that buyer has not slept through the night since turning down that offer.
You and I think alike. We're like, now wait a minute, $50K and all I got to do is start over.
Yeah, should have I done that? But then again,
so funny.
Maybe there was a fear that a bunch of that $50,000 would have been eaten up in legal fees too.
Well, I don't know because I don't know.
Crazy story is correct.
Because I don't know who would care. Who would care? If the seller's still getting the same money that he was going to get, why would there be a lawsuit? And
good point.
I've been in line before. I've been in line at like TJ Maxx at Christmas time, and I had a lady say to me, all I want is this thing for $8, and I don't want to wait in line. Would you just pay for it? Here's $20. And I'm like, oh, for Pete's sakes, I'll just pay for it. Just give me $8. I don't need to make $12 off you. But yeah, so sometimes people just have, I don't know, more resources.
Yeah, as you say, they have extra cash laying around. That's
something like that. All right. So people are saying, when's the best time to list? When's the best time to list? Well, according to the National Association of Realtors, in the overall market, mid-April is the best time to list. Okay. I will tell you today in the Rochester market is the best time to list. We are fired up and ready. You heard my stats as far as what our inventory is, how fast it's going off the shelves. People are still getting really good offers. Maybe not as has high a percentage over as they were last year at this time, but offers are still very good. Sellers are still extremely happy. So maybe nationwide, mid-April is the best, but I will tell you, we're ready to go, and now is great.
Has match day happened yet?
Yes, I think,
I lost
it's
track.
usually right around St. Patrick's Day, so I'm guessing I have a couple of residents who've already been in contact who know they're coming to Rochester, so maybe they're just super hopeful, or if it's been, I haven't followed it this year. Shame on me.
I think you're right, though. I think it was sometime this past week.
I would guess yes.
So get ready,
I can't say that 100%.
No.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you we've gotten that house two of those houses, the 300 and 319, I think they had back-to-back showings all day Friday, the day they hit the market. So, yeah, no, the shoppers are out there in full forces.
In Rochester, we're not completely unique in this because there's other places with major medical centers, but I imagine for a city our size, it is kind of unique to have this sudden flood of people every single year looking for places to live around the same time.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. And then there's this not the same amount, but then there's a certain group of people that are finishing residency, and so then they're selling. But, the time crisscrosses a little bit.
They should, match that up better.
It does work out sometimes that the incoming residents get the house that the outgoing resident is going to be selling, and then that outgoing resident just lets the incoming resident move in while they go stay with a friend those last few weeks.
Okay.
And we're really good problem solvers.
That's the Gwaltney Group for you.
Oh, thank you.
So we've got about a minute and a half left. Do you have anything else you want to cover?
Well, single-family rents jumped to record highs. I mean, that's been kind of a consistent, hasn't it? Annual gain in single-family rents rose to a record level of 12.6% in January, the fastest yearly increase in more than 16 years of reporting.
12.5%.
So year over year.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So the annual rent growth was more than triple the increase that it was in January of 2021. So rent is just skyrocketing. So if you're out there and you can see an opportunity in not paying rent and buying a home, you might be surprised at the fact that you are qualified, that you are ready. You're going to need less money down than you might think you need. And in the end, you're going to pay less each month than you were in your rental. So it's definitely worth looking into, and that is something that we're happy to sit down and go over and educate you and put you in touch with, very experienced lenders that can also show you exactly what those numbers look like. So if that's something that you're interested in learning, we'd love to help. If you've got houses that you'd like to sell and add to our much needed inventory, we'd love to help. I do want to say I got the nicest call from one of our weekly listeners asking me for some advice about buying a retirement property down in Arizona, and I just had the nicest conversation with him. So if you're listening to me again this morning, I just want to say I would love to hear how that turned out for you.
Great.
All right. Yeah, so there you go.
What's that phone number? Remind us.
Yes, 507-259-4926.
Okay, dokie. Enjoy the weekend and enjoy the whole week, Robin.
Yeah, you too, Andy. Talk to you soon.
Okay, talk to you next week. That's Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Max Results, right here on News Talk 1340, KROC AM, and 96.9 FM.
News Talk 1340, KROC.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.